Seems like you're hitting a rough spot. The cursing at the paper ball on the floor gave it away, actually. Today's lesson isn't skippable. You've always been good at using your magic, but you've never had to grapple with pyrokinesis. As your teacher, I intend to change that. Today, the aim is to make sure you're more comfortable with using fire magic. And that starts with learning to make things combust. I can see that you're struggling, and now is the part where I'm going to teach you why that is. Tell me, how good are you at using lightning magic? Since you're already familiar with the concept, explain how lightning forms. That's right. In nature, lightning happens due to the collision of ice crystals. This makes positive electrons. The air keeps these charges insulated between the clouds and the ground. When there's too much buildup of these charges, the capacity for the air to continue holding these electrons breaks down, and electricity is discharged. The positive electrons will often seek out the negative ones in the ground. And this is why we get lightning bolts. This is related to fire magic because you're forgetting the categories of elements. Repeat them back to me. Active and reactive. Correct. Which category does fire fall under? Exactly. Right beside lightning. As you know, reactive elements in magic are classified so because they're not naturally occurring and react to magical interference rather than the active nature of the other elements. Electrokinetic muses can subtly command other elements, but not enough to denote them as ethers like us. They create ice crystals and air to charge their lightning. Then they manipulate the surrounding earth to create charge in the spot they wish to strike. If you remember what I would have taught you growing up, then you recall that this is why we label lightning as the element of connection. It chains together the other elements to form itself. The same can be said about fire. Are you with me thus far? Good. Now my question is, why are you treating it like it's an active element? You can't force fire to suddenly emerge, and all those who have tried to travel that route have learned that it only ends with self-immolation. Do you know why? Check your attitude. But yes, it's elementary knowledge that fire needs fuel, oxygen, and heat. When you have heat and oxygen but no fuel, and you use magic to try and force fire to emerge, your magic ends up using your body to compensate. Hence the instant combustion. Like that. Magic is never just that simple. Stop focusing on the image of fire and think through the steps as you focus on the fuel. Here, try again. A paper ball works just as well for what we want. We'll move to a bigger object once you can burn the ones I assign you to. We're in the practical area. It's designed to handle all of this. Now focus. Your aim is to walk yourself through the steps. You have the oxygen. Pick your fuel, and once you're ready, use your magic to direct the heat where you want it. From there, you'll have fire. Good job. That's it for today's lesson. As an extra note, keep in mind that fire is about transformation. You can't create a flame without something to burn. We're taking it slow because you're not as experienced with this kind of magic as you are with other elements. And if you try to push yourself too soon, then you'll end up exhausted. Learning astrokinesis is more advanced than just creating fire. It requires a thorough understanding of how to manipulate the elements available to us, and you've hardly mastered the most important one to begin scratching the surface of it. It's also not on our curriculum, and frankly, you don't need to learn it. That kind of magic is exceptionally dangerous, and it's hard to master. One wrong move, and you'd open a black hole in the middle of the school. That's also not accounting for the level of dedication it would require. For now, we'll focus on your fundamentals and leave the full pressure coursework to your other lecturers. I'm sure they're already breathing down your neck as it is. That's what our lives as ethers are like. We're expected to learn everything that's needed of us by others, and everyone is going to expect you to handle that. I can't answer that for you. Whether you want to be someone's tool or your own person is up to you. My advice is, if you want to learn a skill, then do it for yourself. That way, you'll have a better idea of how you want to use it later. Besides depressing social existentialism, anything else you want to talk about? The update on your side of the work is appreciated, but I meant about you. I meant what I said. I'm trying to look out for you. I can't be your parents, but I can still be your uncle. And if you want to talk about something, then I'm all ears. Otherwise, I am gonna ask you about yourself. To start, how's your relationship going with Nicholas and Oscar? Just fine? I'd appreciate more info than that, yes. I think I'd want to know if you're happy or not. Hotshot, people don't always go into relationships to be happy. Sometimes, people run to cling to others to escape something else. I want to make sure that you're not running towards these two just to avoid. You're sure about that? It's only been a few weeks, and I hear you're already in each other's dorms. Fine. I'm sorry. I understand that might be me prying. Just don't rush into something and hurt yourself. Alright? You already have a track record of it, evidenced by our current predicament. Alright, I'll drop it. Have you been eating well? You should be eating more solid foods instead. That junk isn't good for you. If you need more money. Alright. I trust you have that handled then. Do you need anything? Fine. We're done. Class is dismissed. Huh? Oh, sorry. No, the coffee's good. I just have a lot on my mind right now. I don't mind talking. I'm just thinking about the kid. Same one. I just can't seem to read them. Every time I think I'm making progress, they close up and shut me out. It's like trying to talk to a diary with a lock on it. I can see that something is going on, but I can't get them to open up. No, I don't want to read their diary. That's not the point. I just want them to trust me. They're out there by themselves, and I don't want them doing something reckless. The problem is that we have too much space between us. I want them to come to me and to talk to someone. No. They won't come to me if I keep trying to make them. You're right. If I want them to trust me, then I have to trust them to come to me, even if I don't like it. How do you even do that? You just know what to say. I'd almost think you were a telepath if I didn't know better. I guess you don't have to read minds to know how to talk to people. I'm almost jealous of that. Yeah, conversations always feel like a scramble to find the right words. Unless it's about work, I usually don't know what to say to other people. Most of my life has been working in a lab, so excuse my lack of social aptitude. Usually, the most thrilling conversation I'd have was discussing why an experiment wasn't going the way my coworkers wanted it to. Even when I was teaching before, I didn't typically have a lot of personal connections with the other teachers. Being in and out of the school typically didn't settle well for keeping in touch with people. I suppose you could say that. Not to be pretentious, but do you usually get the breath of fresh air compliment? Noted. But I do mean it. It's been nice getting to know you. You're a lot more down to earth than I figured you'd be. I've spoken to a lot of college and university teachers. More often than not, they've either got their nose in the air or in a book. You could say that I'm the latter. Did you always want to be a teacher? What made you get into it then? Most teachers don't sign up just for the money. If that were the case, we'd have had less teachers than we do now. My reason? I suppose I just like discussing information with students. It's more enjoyable to talk about a subject when the people you're talking to aren't always trying to check your work. I suppose that even the students do it too. I've certainly heard about how guilty Asteroth Sinclair is, especially in your class. When you don't talk to many people, you usually end up being better at listening to what they have to say. And he's quite the subject of conversation. As far as I know, he's a serious academic, seemingly asocial, yet still he managed to gain a spot on choir. I also hear that he's part of the Eustace Sinclairs. That family is known for their connection to the Bacchanalian intelligence archives. It makes sense that he picked up their scrutinous tendencies. I've worked with the family before as a scientist. A lot of our findings passed through them to make sure the information would be recorded properly. I can't talk a lot about it, but from what I gleaned, they seem like the stiff upper lip kind. A lot like my folks. Yeah. Maybe the kid is dealing with some harsh expectations. Coming from that kind of family isn't always easy. You're right. He could be less of a little shit about it. Hopefully he shakes out the attitude soon. Why would he be in any of my classes? No. I didn't know he got approved to join my BOA's class with the Ether Kid. Now, at least you won't be the only one dealing with him. The tips would be nice. It's getting late. Do you need me to walk you back to your car? Alright then, Buster. Do you want me to walk you back to your car? Let's get going then.